Yeah. Or
on onto YouTube, so they won't even see it. I don't even think it posts. So other than YouTube, so I just put it there so I have an extra recording of it. All right, that's that. Record and start audio hijack. Okay, you good?
I am good.
All right, pull my notes. 128. All right, here we go. In 3, 2. Welcome to episode 128 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and Apple TV and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and my co-host, Warren Sklar, is here. How you doing, Warren?
I am doing great. It's Thursday, and had a good day. My son got into the school he wanted to get into, which is
congratulations.
Pretty much a place where I want to be, and life is good.
Yeah, that is a lot of good news there. So as I'm sure everybody's heard this week, the AirPods Max are out. We're going to talk about those here, and should be interesting, as well as Fitness Plus is coming out as well, and lots of news and lots of topics. And so let's just go ahead and dive right into the news here, and got some news that caught my eye here. First one, not a 9to5 Mac. Apple has retired the Music Memos app for iOS and appointing users to use the voice memos instead. Apple announced that they're discontinuing the Music Memos app, which I never even used. As such, it has rolled out an update to the app today to allow users to export their recordings to the Voice Memos app. This is the first update to that Music Memos app in over a year. They released this back in 2016, touting it as a way for songwriters and quickly and easily record audio and develop song ideas. Since 2016, though, the app had gone long periods of time before anybody updated. So honestly, this is probably not much of a news story, but more of an interesting thing of folks who did use this app. Did you use this app at all? I downloaded it, but I didn't even dabble in it.
I vaguely remember something about it, and then I vaguely remember something about where you record music and then you could forward to different people and they could add to it. And I don't know if that was the same thing or not. Like it was kind of like like you could add your own music to the music that somebody sent you and then keep going. But I don't think this was that. So I don't even know if I opened it once. To be honest with
and they've got excerpts back in 2016 of what Apple was saying and touting this app. They were using Voice Memos app on their iPhone to quickly record ideas, but I think that's where the concept was. So they decided, and it's done. So they're gonna go ahead and move everybody over to the Voice Memos app, which is fine because I think that's where most people are when they're recording their ideas. So. Next story on Mac Rumors, the Bravo browser for iOS updates the app to remove reward features that violates the App Store rules. Here we go again with violations of the App Store rules. Developers behind the Brave browser today announced some changes for the iOS version, which is being implemented that they have to comply to the Apple's App Store rules. This version is going to be, which was released as we record this today, and it is going to remove features that allow people to earn rewards for browsing and tip creators. That's what they do with that browser. They do it. I don't use this. They do this on the Mac, but it looks like iOS are not going to allow it with the new guidelines. So, do you use this browser at all?
No, I'm trying to figure out what they do. Or what they did. They reward you for browsing. Is it like
browsing and tip creators? Yeah, they had a system allowed those use browser to earn money for viewing ads. Which have been given.
So I guess
preferred
Apple
content creators.
Apple just doesn't like money flowing between their apps, and the Apple doesn't like money flowing that doesn't involve their App Store. Period. It doesn't matter. You could have like an app that gives every dollar to charity, and I think Apple will still be upset that they're not in the middle of it.
Yep, and they can't do anything about it on the Mac because that's a standalone browser. So. The Brave browser on the Mac is a Chromium based browser, so it's built on Chrome just like Edge is as well. So, but of course iOS is different. But and it's also a browser that you can make your default on your iOS device. So, so no more rewards if you're using that Brave browser. You can get tongue tied with those two. And then next story, this was in 9 to 5 Mac. Microsoft has confirmed that Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to iOS in spring of 2021. Microsoft has confirmed that the Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to iOS 2021 in a new blog post today. The company says that the cloud gaming is going to be part of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which will come to iOS via web browser in the spring of 2021. So it looks like it's going to be browser based, but of course another place to do gaming, and obviously we're seeing a lot of trends here with the gaming platforms that are becoming more cloud based. Again, I'm not much of a gamer, so I don't know what you thought of this as far as what Microsoft is saying about it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a gamer either, but I've been listening to people talk about it. And, the idea of the cloud gaming is that you could pretty much game on anything with a screen, no matter what it is.
Right.
It could be something from 10 years ago. And if it has a screen, it will work. I'm looking at the picture that 9 to 5 Mac puts in the article, and it's on a iPad, so the only you wouldn't use it on an iPhone, I'm sure. And to me, unless you have like the 12.9 inch Pro, I think it would be too small to even for me to really game on something like that. But whatever.
Right.
And then it depends on the performance. I guess that's all they're all waiting for.
Yep. So it definitely is going to be interesting with the way gaming is going. It's more and more going on the cloud, and who knows? We may see these consoles much longer. The hot consoles much longer. It will be. It's going to be a while. It's going to be. It's going to be interesting.
By the extent I had to get my son the new Xbox, I'll tell you, it's going to be a while. So.
Oh yeah, even getting one right now, yeah.
I got him. We got him one for Christmas, but
yeah. Hope he's not listening.
Don't worry.
All right. Next story. This is actually in 9 to 5 Google. Google Photos now lets you sync your liked images with Apple Photos on iOS. After recently hitting the 5 billion download milestone on Android, Google Photos is now looking to target the other side of the mobile OS fence and with some new features. For those of you with an iOS device, Google Photos will now offer the ability to sync your liked content with Apple Photos. So while Google Photos is a cross-platform, it's hard to fully utilize it on iOS due to certain restraints put in place by Apple. If you ever use an iPhone or an iPad and do opt to try using Google Photos exclusively, you're likely that you're going to have to juggle Apple Photos in there to for proper library management. So this is, I guess, how it'll work is your favorite heart photos in Apple Photos will become favorites in Google Photos. Your favorite star photos in Google Photos will become your favorites in Apple Photos. It's good to see that they're trying to finally, jump and see that they got iOS out here too, and they can take advantage of it. I've got photos out on Google Photos, but I don't utilize it that much. Do you at all? Do you stick with Apple Photos?
I stick with Apple Photos, but I have installed the Google Photo app on my phone. I haven't opened it for a while because every time you open it, it looks at your camera roll, or it looks at your iCloud photo library, if that's what you have, and it will start to sync what you have there to it, which is nice, or it was nice when they had unlimited storage, I guess. I don't know if it's going away. Yeah, which is going away. So I don't know if I would dare do that now. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think at one time I used Google Photos just as a secondary backup to my photos, because I don't think I had them all in the iCloud at that point. So I just wanted to make sure I still had them somewhere.
Yeah. So definitely going to be interesting to see where that goes. Next story. This was an Apple Insider mixing it all up this week. Apple Music has added animated album covers in iOS on iOS 14.3 and Mac OS 11.1. Apple Music has added animated album covers in its beta versions of 14.3, suggesting that the feature will roll out more broadly when the software updates launch to the public, which is going to be very close. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Apple added animated cover arts for playbacks, for playlists back in iOS 14, but the iOS 14.3 update, which is currently in beta, should arrive soon and will appear to have done the same for album artwork. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes. I've seen, if I remember correctly, iTunes used to have those album those added albums. I forgot what they were called. Do you remember what those were called?
It had the album cover.
The picture, and then it had like liner notes and all kinds of other extras.
Some of it did, but
iTunes something. I'm trying to remember what that was called. Because when you bought the album, you would get that as a bonus. This is more going to be animation to the album cover. So instead of just looking at just a photo of the cover, it'll really be more animated, which should be interesting to see how that goes. What do you think?
I put the beta on. I didn't open up iTunes to see, but it's always kind of cool when you open up iTunes. They're always changing things around and making it look a little different, which is cool. The lyrics, I use the lyrics usually. Mostly, I just keep it on the lyrics most of the time, anyways. But yeah, why not? Go for it. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. That should be out very soon, very shortly here. So, let's talk a little bit about Disney Plus. Disney had their investors announcements today as we record this, and they've gained 13 million subscribers in 2 months. They're almost at 87 million paid users. That's incredible. An increase of there's a 2-month increase of over 13 million, as I said in the last reported numbers, and said that was quite a jump. The streaming service has really become insanely popular. It also helps to have the content that they have because also what they did announce today is their 10 more Star Wars series that's going to be out, including going on an angle to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, his story. So there's going to be a lot of content as well as Marvel and others. It's good to see it. It's good to see that it's happening. The movie theaters and film, they should start worrying. But as far as I'm concerned, what do you think?
Yeah, I saw the news that they were going to do a bunch of Star Wars spin-offs, and kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety because I really don't follow the universe, at all outside the 9 movies. So, I like The Mandalorian because you really don't.
Me too.
You really don't need to know like the ins and out, but if you know some of the ins and out, you know some things more than the average person. But I could easily watch it without knowing what, who that, this new character comes in and they're like, oh, that's that guy from this thing, and I'm like, no, I don't care who he is. He's new. I just see him now. So, I like The Mandalorian, and if there was something else that came out that was like it, I would be interested in it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then the other thing too is I added as a bonus news story. This was actually highlighted in the Apple App Store, App Store today to advertise Disney Plus. That the vault is officially open. They've now opened up all the old movies going back to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs back in 1937. All the classic Disney films are now going to be available. Fantasia, Bambi, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians. They're all going to. Yeah, that's huge. And a lot of these families during the Christmas holidays are going to be starting watching this. So I think that's pretty cool. So
my mother-in-law used to buy because when they were on VHS and DVD, you couldn't buy them at all times. They only released them at certain times, and you were only able to buy the copy at certain points of time. And it would she would just make sure she had it, so that they were really tight on it. So,
So good stuff, good information, good news with Disney Plus subscribers. I want to start watching more because I think it's got such great content. I mean, I watch The Mandalorian like every week, like you do. So, there's so much more to watch now. So, next story, Apple has confirmed that this was last week. It was announced that the family sharing for in-app purchases and subscriptions is now available. They quietly expanded this in the family sharing app store functionality by adding a new app store toggle that allows family members to share in-app subscriptions with one another. Apple confirmed that, and it has rolled it out. So if you go into subscriptions, you can toggle on the share new subscriptions. Of course, it's all going to depend, I believe, in it's for the developer. The developer is going to have to allow it, and I think a fair amount of them are allowing it. I haven't heard of any that hadn't allowed it as of yet. Nothing was mentioned here in this article, but what do you think on this?
Yeah, I looked to see if I had any available to me, and I don't. But yeah, just to avoid confusion, this is family sharing for apps that are not Apple apps, because all the Apple apps, most of them
third
are
party,
already,
right? I'm sorry. Yeah, these are all third party apps, right? Because Apple apps, you automatically get that anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not a lot of, I can't think of that many offhand that have a subscription to it, except for maybe like the like Adobe apps and things like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's good if you can find it.
Yep, absolutely. The next story, 9 to 5 Mac. Apple announced a repair program for the iPhone 11 display with touch issues. Small percentage of iPhone 11, only the iPhone 11 models were affected by a problem with the touchscreen. And the company said it was related to a failure in the display module, which needs to be replaced in order to get the phone working properly again. And they're covering it just for the iPhone 11, not the 11 Pro or 11 Pro Max. It's a small percentage. They have a link on the Apple support website. You put your serial number in, it'll tell you if your phone is part of that repair plan, and they will take care of it. Any thoughts on this?
Nope. Good.
Yep. So it's good that they're taking care of this. Then the last story for this week, that this just got announced today. Apple confirms the 29-watt power adapter is incompatible with the MagSafe Duo charger. They shared a support document explaining how to use the MagSafe Duo charger. You know, that really expensive one we talked about last week for $129. Mm-hmm. That with iPhone 12 models and the Apple Watch, clarifying that some details about the accessory is notably that it confirmed that the older 29-watt USB-C power adapter is not compatible with the MagSafe Duo. So because it doesn't have the necessary wattage, 5 volts, 3 amps, or 9 volts, 1.67 amps for power ratings. So apparently it's not going to work, because that plug was, of course, discontinued back in 2018 and replaced with a 30-watt. So be aware.
That's actually amazing, because like everything, even laptops, you can plug a 29-watt adapter into like a 16-inch Pro, and it's not going to not work. It will, right, trickle charge it when it's off, and like it won't charge it that much, but it's not that it doesn't work. So USB-C in general is pretty.
Yeah, you would think
pretty safe with that kind of thing. I know there was questions about the USB charger on the HomePod Mini, to see if you could put that into a battery pack, the USB-C cord, and see if that would work. And it actually did. So, that's just weird. That's actually a weird story. On a side note, though, just FYI, I found 011 is a company that makes chargers and cables and stuff like that.
Heard of them.
They have for $20 a MagSafe charger clone that I have on order.
If you got the link, let's put it in the show notes.
Yeah, there was a coupon for it. I can't find a coupon, but I'll put the link in the show notes for you.
Yeah, if you remember, please do that. And good. So good news there. That's the news for this week. Let's talk about beta. As we always do. And I was kind of surprised. Earlier this week, Apple seeded the release candidate for 14.3. And then they released a second release candidate. So apparently they found some bugs. So it obviously has to be out by Monday, because this is Fitness Plus requires that 14.3 is on devices so it can be used. And of course, the updates, like we've been talking about, the Pro Raw format is available for the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max. That's pretty much the only thing that really stood out as far as what it added. And just compatibility to Fitness Plus. Did you see anything else that you installed it today?
Nope. just kind of installed it, and it installed fine. I didn't notice any bugs in the previous release candidate. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's why they have them. That's why they're not final yet. So
Right.
it's good that they find something and fix it.
And of course, it's going to add support for the AirPods Max and
Right.
some privacy stuff that they've been updating, some updates to the TV app. And I put a link in the show notes here to the Mac Rumors article about it, of course. I guess there's Ecosia. I think we talked about this before. Ecosia, isn't that that's a search engine? I guess you could use as default. I'm not familiar with that. I thought we had mentioned that before, but yeah, we'll have to check that and get back to you. So, and then also they released a update to the HomePod. The HomePod, there's an article there as well. In Mac Rumors a couple days ago, it was designed for the HomePod and the HomePod Mini. Just a month after the 14.2 software came out. Still no word yet if there's what was new in the software, but I would go under the assumption a lot of bug fixes, stability. I just updated it a couple days ago. Didn't notice anything different, and I go, you're not much of a big HomePod user, so.
Well, I did the update. Got the whole app. I mean, it does. There's still a lot of handoff stuff going on, and I know you could hand off from your AirPods, to your HomePod. There's a way to do that. So maybe with the release of the AirPods Max, there was something in there to do that, but who knows?
Yep. So other than that, nothing too exciting. The Watch OS had an update as well, I believe, as well as tvOS.
The official one, yeah. The Apple Watch and tvOS didn't get the second. Batch. Yeah,
they're still on the first release candidate. So
right.
So of course, the Apple Watch will be the same thing because it's going to be needing the Fitness Plus here. We'll have to be ready to for that to go ready to go. So
right.
Yep. So let's go ahead and dive into our main stories this week. The main story was to talk about the AirPods Max. Lots and lots of chatter this week about the first reaction is, oh my gosh, it's really expensive. And because yes, it is $549 to start out with. It was very interesting to see. At first, it was kind of a sticker shock when you saw when the press release was released out this past week. But it looks quite magical, as they say, the magic of AirPods in a stunning over the ear design. And of course, everything you can come to expect from the AirPods Max, which would be high fidelity audio and adaptive equalization, active noise cancellation, and spatial audio, just like what the AirPods Pro have. Interesting design. It looks just like an Apple Watch with the digital dial on that, and it's definitely interesting so far. What were your first initial reactions when you saw them?
Well, I knew that it wasn't something I'd be interested, even if they were cheaper. I kind of shied away from over-the-ear headphones once. I got spoiled with the AirPods. Yeah. To be honest with you. I mean, that's just not convenient for me, at least.
Yep.
I thought probably the same as everybody else. They're expensive, but they probably are the best earphones that I would ever try on. And I'm sure they sound really good. I'm sure, comfort's a big thing, and, sure. They make a big deal about the comfort. They're probably testing the water with the price, the same as a HomePod. I would expect it to hit like a 400 something level within a couple months. And it's going to be the same thing. People are going to get it and say these are great. And Dave Hamilton,
yep.
talks about it a lot, but he talks about the bias. I forget the actual term for it, but if you buy something and you spend money on it and you research it and it sounds good to you, then it's fine. It's
right.
It's good. So if you get like a pair of $20 things from Best Buy and they sound good, then they're good. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's I personally can't tell the difference between a lot of headphones.
Mhm.
I just don't have the ear for it. So for me, it wouldn't be a big deal. I like the AirPods Pro because of the convenience and the ability to interact with the outside world
Mhm.
while I have them. Whereas the AirPod Max Pro, whatever, is the opposite. You really can't. I really can't see myself interacting with the world around me
Yep.
with something like that around my head. So,
Well, it's
um,
because I mean I've had noise canceling headphones for years. I've had Bose. I've had the last two models. Well, I have the QC35, which is an older model, but I still love them. I think when I want to really get some isolated sound, and yeah, and the noise canceling is available on the AirPods Pro that I'm wearing and we're both using. But sometimes you might want to be immersed in the sound and having a headphone. I mean, the Bose were very popular with travelers. Obviously, not a lot of traveling going on right now, but
right, right.
but you always see Bose headphones when you're on the plane because a lot of people had them. So then it also caught my eye. But those were 300 bucks, 350. Very good quality sound. So a lot of and as I mentioned, there were a lot of unboxings today. A lot of influencers have received their demo, their review units, and a lot of reviews of saying the quality of the sound is good. And even some comparing them to the that they've raised the noise canceling bar and they've edged out like Sony and Bose both having some really good noise canceling headphones that are very comparable. But of course, both those headphones are a lot less expensive. They're like at least $200 more. So you have to wonder. But the design is interesting. I saw the actually earphone pads actually pull and come off, and you can actually interchange them if you want to be able to have different colors if you want, and have spares. And then if they wear out, they're easy to replace them. I believe Apple charges $69 to replace them once they wear out. I mean, it kind of happened the same. I had a pair of Bose headphones where the earpiece piece wore out, so they sold them. They're a lot cheaper though, like $20 to replace them. Just the ear pads on the headphone. But
I think silly enough, they want people to buy different colors and to mix and match it, like a fashion statement,
Yep.
which maybe people will do, kind of like an Apple Watch band for the headphone, um, which is a little silly, but you could technically buy different colors and mix and match them. They actually there was a article or something showing all the combinations of every color with every color heads the actual unit with the colors of the pads, and you could make obviously probably I think it was like 50 or 60 combinations of colors. So the question is, if somebody's wearing a pair of like gray ones and they're walking down the street, are you going to say those are the Apple the AirPods Max? And I think that's that's what they're that's what people, they want people to know that those are the Apple products when people are wearing
right.
them. And I don't know if I would recognize it yet. If I saw it in the wild, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Whereas like the AirPods are the ones in your ear, it's pretty obvious that that's what it is.
And you go to look streams like Justine, which I'm a fan of. She's always fun to watch, and obviously we know she's an Apple fan girl, and she admits it. She got her headphones and just was going crazy how great they are and how they sound. And she made comment of the fact that like you said, it really isolates you because you're wearing the headphones and she said she couldn't even hear herself talk because the noise canceling was that good. So interesting to see how that goes. Now, charging that doesn't come with a charger. Again, going through that trend just like they did with the iPhone with no charger. It spells out that it says you'll give you up to 20 hours worth of charge time, and you could charge it with with the basic 5-watt iPhone adapter if you wanted to, and charge it back up. It comes with a USB-C to Lightning cable in the box. That's what you would use to charge it. If you want, but you also got to think of it this way: it's a Bluetooth device, so you got some. So that's going to be the way to be able to listen to it. Now it does come with a case, and everybody's made lots of comments the way that case looks like a bra, looks like some sort of weird sleeve. But I guess that sleeve is got something special in it. When you put the sleeve onto the headphones and flap it down, it senses that, and it automatically turns the headphones off, so it reserves and saves the battery power for you. So that case does have some meaning to it beyond the fact that it protects it. Now, of course, it doesn't fold up. Like the Bose were nice because they fold up into kind of a circle and go right into a case, which is nice. So it's easier to travel. These look like they only fold up flat. They fold up, but they're not anywhere near as compact. So
it looks like you're carrying a purse. Literally, it looks like you're carrying.
That's the other thing. I think the other comment they made about the case looks like a purse, and it definitely interesting. You can. My understanding was you could get a cable. I believe you could buy a $30 or $40 cable that's got the 3.5 millimeter plug. So you wanted to plug it into as a regular headset without using Bluetooth. But then you got to spend the extra on that, because as we know, and like you said, when you mentioned Dave Hamilton, we all know Bluetooth has a lag, and it is going to have some lag to it. And for someone who's really an audio guy like Dave is, you'll notice that, and that's what you probably I made the comment yesterday during Back to the Future. I said I have 4 headphones, 2 wired and 2 wireless, and both can be wired because they came with the wire. So I have plenty of headphones, so I don't see this in my future at all. But I think it's definitely going to be something that it's going to go crazy. They're already sold out, which is no surprise because a lot of people are fans of Apple. Or they had a restrictive inventory, which is very possible.
I think they had a restrictive. They sold out very quickly, and that makes me think that was purpose. That was done purposely. I'm sure they sold a lot of them, but they're always bad with the causing the extra hype with this stuff. This year's been worse than any year that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a lot of it's due to the COVID situation, and production's not what it is. But even now, isn't it like if you try to buy an iPhone 12, it's still a couple weeks wait?
We had talked about. I talked about that the other day. There was an article about that the iPhones 12s or 12 Pros are getting hard to come by. But you sometimes go on, you see this available at the store, you can go get it like the same day. So
yeah, but another one, the watch bands. I got the braided loop in green, and I wanted in black, and you can't get, like, if I wanted, I have to wait till January, and that's a supply thing, right? Why do I have to wait a month and a half for a stupid watch band?
Yep.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's got a little bit of a design along the lines of the Apple Watch, because it has the digital crown, it has the Siri, and that digital crown is very reactive, of easy to touch to get to change the volume and to activate Siri, and you can get things going. Setup was very simple. Just not that I was surprised. So I watched Justine do it. She brought the headset right next to her iPhone. It automatically recognized it. The AirPods and AirPods Pro do that too. So
yeah, Dave Hamilton also taught me, or on one of his podcasts, he taught me something that I didn't know, is basically the Apple earphones, the AirPods, and these have the MAC address of every Apple device out there that could possibly connect to, and that's how it connects to. That's how it automatically connects to these devices, because literally they hard code every MAC address to it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But
but Apple has the ownership of those MAC addresses, so they know it. So
it just seems like a long way to go.
And the other thing was interesting. It didn't include the U1 chip, the ultra wideband in the AirPods Max. I found that to be interesting, which they introduced back in 2019 in the iPhone 11, and they had only brought that to the Series 6 watch and the iPhone and the iPhone 12. So it doesn't mention that the AirPods Max have the H1 chip, which is the chip that's inside each ear cup for computational audio. But the U1 chip is not in there for the ultra wideband technology. So
That's to find your that was going to be more for like
the Find My. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, no Find My. So you lose these if you forget these headphones, you're out of luck. I mean
that's strange in itself.
It's very strange for a $550 pair of headphones. You know,
and they're big enough. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely room to put that in there. You know, I think there was a lot of rumored things that were supposed to go on these things that never made it to the final.
Yep, and that's was mentioned too.
Yeah, and that's part of the next story we're talking about is how long he's been in production. So they've obviously had to make 4 years. They've obviously had to make a lot of decisions on what they're gonna, you know, once they got it working, what features you're gonna put in there and what they're not gonna put in there. And there was a few of them that were kind of interesting, like there was one where it detected what direction it was put on your head. So if you put it on, it would know which side, the left ear or right ear, doesn't matter which way you turned it.
Right.
You know, that
was scrapped too.
That was scrapped. You know, the U1 chip, that's, you know, these are perfect to be something in a Find My, you know, they might want to put you, if they ever come up with the tags, they'll want you to put a tag on it. I'm pretty sure there'll be a slot.
Yeah. But there was an article about this. We have it in the show notes. A former Apple designer had made a comment with a tweet, and he said his NDA is finally out, and he could say something. And he said, "Yeah, this has been in development for 4 years," because there always had been some chatter about it over all the years that we covered Apple about these headphones. But yeah, that's interesting to see 4 years.
That's why he was a former engineer. Because
that's you wonder if he is a former. Yeah,
it took him 4 years to do it. I could just picture Tim Cook coming into the engineer's office every week with his arms crossed and a mean face. Is like, now can we put him out now? No. I heard somebody else, the Coltcast, mentioned that one of the problems that they were having with these they were actually not literally, but they were crushing the skull. They were actually too tight in the head, where they were pushing too hard on your head, and it was actually hurting people. So they were really playing around with designs for for a long time. And you know, the joke is these are headphones. I mean, these have been around since the 60s, and you know, it's a lot of this design has already been done. So I think Apple tried a little too hard to make them different than what else you would find out there, and you know, that's what happened.
The microphones that are built into it is there's 8 microphones for active noise cancellation and 3 for voice pickup. So you can use them if you so desire with your iPhone and be able to use them to have conversations, of course, just like you can with the AirPods Pro. And then they have the 2 controls we mentioned. It's the digital crown, which will that you turn for the voice volume volume control, so it turns just like it does on the Apple Watch. And then you got modes to change the controls, and then there's a noise control button that lets you switch between active noise cancellation and transparency mode, which we know on the AirPods Pro. It is interesting. The weight is heavy. It's 13.6 ounces, so it's a little under a pound. So, and which is interesting. And the case itself is 4.74 ounces, so that puts it up to a pound in weight with that case. So, interesting to see where that the weight is on that. So,
and I've had big, you know, good over-the-ear headphones, and I've never taken them on a trip with me. You know, you want them in the airplane, which is the only place you really want it, but then you're stuck carrying these big things, and they take room in your travel bag, and you know, it's you know, charging and packing. It's more of a pain than you know,
it is
than not. So
even the Bose I would travel with, you know, I've always had it in my backpack because, you know, oh my god, this thing is big. I got to open the case.
It takes up a lot of room. Yeah.
Compared to these.
And then with the Bluetooth, obviously with the Bluetooth, you know, if you wanted to watch the airplane movie, you had to get one of those.
Those 12 South adapters.
Yeah, it was the fly thing, the iFly.
I have one.
yeah, whatever it is. I have a knockoff one. It's basically a Bluetooth that has a headphone adapter
Yep.
that kind of worked, but not really that well. It was clunky.
Yep. And you got so you got 5 colors. It looks like silver, and then you have space gray, you have sky blue, you have pink, and you have green. So lots of color choices. So anyway, we spent a lot of time on this. The AirPods Max will be out starting 12/15, but I believe they're already sold out, and they're going to. I think that the shipping is pushed out to 12 to 14 weeks. So maybe in February of 2021 before you can get a pair. But you might find them out there and be able to grab one. But again, $549. It's pretty steep on your pocketbook.
I don't know if they're actually considered a pro product. They don't have the pro name, and generally pro products don't have color options other than gray and
True.
The gray and the silver and gold generally. So it's kind of, I think they're actually not branding it as a professional pair of headphones, which is weird that the AirPod Pro somehow is, but whatever.
Well, they've got, and it's going to be interesting to see where the Beats line goes. Beats are still being sold. They got the Studio 3 headphones. That's the wireless headphones. Those were are $349, $350 for those. So those are the higher end, and they call these the Studios. So, and then you got the Solo, and you have the Power Beats Pro, which are $250. I was tempted to buy it. I'm glad I didn't, because got the AirPods Pro. I'm good with that. So Apple is definitely going to be dabbling into music products, and this was just a start. Let's see where things come from there. So, all right, I think we've talked enough about the AirPods Max, if I must say. Let's jump in and talk about Apple Fitness Plus. Press release came out this past week that the future is now December 14th. That was before, as we were recording this. And what this is going to bring is studio style workouts to the iPhones, the iPad, and Apple TV, intelligently incorporating your workout metrics from your Apple Watch, and giving you a personalized and immersive perspective, as I read from the news release here. And integration is going to be really true to the Apple Watch and to the iPhone, and give you simplicity of finding great workouts. And they obviously got a lot of great workouts with yoga and all kinds of other types of workouts that are available. I can't say I'm a big workout person, but this is going to be pretty interesting to see. They've got they're including with motivated music and being able to be flexible to work out everywhere. And what do you think? You think you can utilize this at all when it comes out?
Oh, my doctor just told me I need to exercise, and my wife heard it. The other day I told my wife, I'm like, they're coming out with this Apple thing, this fitness. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try it and hopefully do it. And she's like, she looks, oh sure, whatever. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh, Apple. So so anything like Apple related, and me, if it's something
that gets you going, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's why you want to do it, because it's Apple. I'm like, no, it's free. I told her it's free because I got the bundle. Yeah. We have the bundle, and she's like, yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But I'll try it. I just need to kind of tell it to go easy on me, I guess, at first, because I don't know what to expect from it. Because, I mean, I think there was one article that was in 9 to 5 or Mac Rumors. One of it says somebody explains how it's going to go on for beginners. Is basically what the article was. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Apple's Jay Blank explains how Fitness Plus will work for beginners. So that's probably something I want to watch to see what that.
Yeah, make sure you put that. We'll make sure we put that in the show notes. If you can put that in there. So you got it. Yeah. So it's not going to be for everybody. Yeah, and you're definitely going to have to check it out to see where it goes. So as far as pricing goes, if you buy a new Apple Watch, I believe they're going to give you a 3 months free to try it with your Apple Watch, which is great. The subscription is going to be $9.95 a month in the U.S. Or $79.99 for the year. I believe it's going to, at first, it's only going to be available in English-speaking countries. So had I noticed in the UK and Ireland and Australia, a lot of around the world, that Canada. Probably because they still are working through trying to get fitness instructors that will speak other languages. Which I'm thinking that wasn't actually said, but it just seems kind of obvious that that might be the case for those in other countries. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what it does here. So, it also be part of the Apple One Premier Plan bundle, which you and I both have, and that will include that into the bundle. And which includes, of course, your Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, your Arcade, the Apple News Plus, and 2 terabytes of iCloud storage plus Fitness Plus. So you'll be great there. There's also a link on Instagram if you want to follow the Apple Fitness Plus crew. Looks like there's a whole crew of folks that are part of that team that you can go and see each one of them. And looks like there's quite a group there. Of folks that you're going to be able to actually follow, and maybe there's going to be one of them that you like better than the other that helping you work out. So the other thing too is you're thinking about, we talked about it yesterday, is the fact that Peloton, which has been a very popular fitness bike and incorporating similar to what Apple Fitness Plus does, having the big on their screen, being able to work out with somebody on the bike, took a little hit on their stock. So the investors are starting to wonder a little bit if this is going to really tap into Peloton's business model, because Peloton not only has the bikes, but they do offer standalone services like what Apple's offering with Fitness Plus. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, Peloton has a thing over Apple, the Apple Fitness, is that they have the bike, which is basically if you enjoy if you like to spin, and I lost a lot of weight at one time spinning, then Peloton's not going to lose any business to Apple unless they come out with something similar. And we talked yesterday on the Mac to the Future Go Live thing. We're wondering if companies are going to exercise equipment companies are going to make things that integrate it. So could a spin bike company that's not Peloton make a bike that's interactive with the Apple Fitness Plus? Could they come out with like with exercise machines or even weights that kind of like could track things? So that's to be seen. As it is right now, the only thing we know is that somehow the watch will work with the Fitness Plus in some kind of way, and we don't really know what that is yet. But it depends on where they're going to go with it. Absolutely. So we'll check it out. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll obviously talk a little bit more about it next week when it comes out, and everybody's first impressions as far as ours as well. We'll be definitely checking it out and seeing where it goes. So let's go ahead and I don't know if you had an app of the week. We need to have you grab one if you have one. I have one that I wanted to talk about, and it's a company called Readle. And I've always liked their products, including the PDF Expert is one of my favorites from them. But Readle actually just updated the Scanner Pro app, which I really liked that app, and they've added some really great stuff in here as far as new technology with this app. It's called Text Vision. It's an enhanced tech vision, and it's an OCR, optical character recognition. Allows you to scan full text articles and search for better organization. And they're saying, get your mind blown, emoji ready, and let's dive into it. So, and then it'll actually turn the scans into text right on the fly on your iPhone. And it's pretty slick just to be able to get that right converted to text and be able to transfer that text right into it. And it's really gosh darn accurate. Again, I think this is a great app. They offer it for free, and it is got in-app purchases. You can buy the Scanner Pro Plus, which is $20, which I've got that plan. And I believe that's
me see what else they have. And then they had fax plans too. If you had to be using faxes, they have a different plans in there as well. But it's a great app. I definitely recommend it highly for scanning, and it's even more improved. And it's got a lot of high ratings, 4.9 out of 5. So really a great little app here. So, did you happen to have any app that you think of this week that you?
Yeah, I added it today to the notes there.
Oh.
This is the 9 to 5 Toys app.
Oh, okay.
Basically, 9 to 5 Toys is one of the parts of 9 to 5 Mac, 9 to 5 Google, 9 to 5 whatever. But their toys, there's a section they do is basically they mostly is a link to products that are on sale, products that are hot, or sometimes they'll put some reviews in here. So especially for this time of year when you're looking for gifts and things like that, it's kind of nice to scroll through and see what's out there. It's mostly tech related things, but sometimes they'll throw in non-tech
as well. It should be
items. Yeah, pretty much clothes and things like that. So it's one of those slick deals kind of thing, but it's done a little more geared towards tech, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. I think we've talked through a lot of stuff this week. Give you a couple extra minutes here, and we can go ahead and wrap things up. Unless you have any other things you wanted to bring up before we go say goodbye.
Nope. I think we're good. Right. It's going to be I would expect by this time next week we'll be on the official releases of these iOSs. So that will be good.
We'll definitely be giving you our reviews of 14.3. It's definitely going to be out by, I would venture to say, by Monday. Who knows? Friday we may get the final release. I don't put the final the beta releases on my primary iPhone, so I haven't even been able to try any of it yet. So we'll definitely get you some feedback on that as well. So. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter @intouchwithios, and you can also subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify and many others. But better yet, go to our website at intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Twitter @DaveG65. Warren, thanks as always. What was going on at Mac to the Future this week? Anything exciting related to iOS?
Believe it or not, my life has been a little busy, so I haven't been.
I noticed you had because every time I come up with Facebook, you always have something posted. So
I've been just kind of skimming through it. Just normal stuff, but all good. Nobody's a couple of the unboxing videos that we talked about are posted on here for the AirPods, but it's all good.
Go
join.
Please come join us. It's a private group, but it's on Facebook, and we love to see you and love to chat with you. And we definitely would like to have you hang out with 3,000 plus of our members here. So it's on Facebook.com, and the link's in the show notes in Warren's bio here. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk again soon.